Welcome to Nick's Noob. In this video, we're going to play around with Lmms and make some music. Lmms stands for Linux Multimedia Studio, but it's also available for Windows and OS X. But if you're running Linux, you can just go to your package manager. So I'm going to go to System and go to Discover and just search for Lmms. And there it is. And you can see I already have it installed. You just want to install that. You could also open a terminal and just type sudo apt-get install lmms, and that would install it. I already have it installed, so it's not going to do anything, but once that's installed, you can go to multimedia and it'll show up under lmms. And so there's a lot of stuff to kind of go over here. I'm just going to go over the basics. Starting off, you have over here a bunch of instruments, and we can just take an instrument, drag it over here, and then depending on the instrument, let's see, let me turn that up a little bit so you can hear that. Depending on the instrument, you can load the GUI. This instrument, I can go show instrument banks, and then we've got a bunch of different banks. Like brass, we can click on that, and now we've got brass instruments. You also have a bunch of presets installed, and those are going to be right here. Actually, these are sound files, so samples, and you can load samples from audio packs. If you already own a bunch of samples, you can just add samples here. And we can go to this little star, our presets. So if we go like to Zen, add sub effects, which was the instrument we were just in, you can see there's a bunch of presets here, including different brass. And we can just click through these like this and drag the one we want over here. And then we can double click here and start arranging notes. Before we start doing that though, let me just show you the, right under the instruments here, there's like demos. So we can just open this up and go to like, let's see, skis, onion, discard my unstarted, unfinished project. And so this is kind of what you can create with it if you know what you're doing. And I'm not going to play this whole thing, but you get the idea. I'll let it go to this break right here. Okay, so that's enough of that, but basically you get the idea. You can make some really great stuff with this. There's also a section here, tutorials, so like editing note tutorials and stuff like that, where it's got some project notes here to show you, kind of teach you how to use it. But let's go in, I'll just open a new project. And let's make some horrible music real quick. So we've got controller track, FX mixer. We've got our, this is basically, these buttons up here will show and hide these things. You've got envelope, automation envelopes. You've got a keyboard. You've got a kind of a beat editor. And then this is your sequencer right here. And then you've also got notes where you can add project notes, and controller rack. And so we can turn all those off right now. You can also turn a metronome on or off. Save your track. You can export it to audio or MIDI. So let's make something. let's make a beat here. So you've got a beat editor here, and you can add more of these. Basically, the beat editor is right here, so I can click to add another beat editor. I'm going to get rid of this. Remove, let's just remove everything they have here. Remove this track, remove this track, remove this track, remove this track. Okay, so now we've got nothing. We'll just add a beat editor. And so the way this works is, well, by default, it's going to load a kicker bass drum. And so we can just come in here and put a bass kick on like the first beat of each measure. And so right now we've got like 4 beats per measure. So if I play this, going to hear that. We can click on this kicker and we can change the, basically it's using a synth for the bass drum. So I'm just going to let this play. I'm going to turn this off here, and now I can change the start and end sound. We can change the slope. You get the idea. But we don't have to use a synth. This could also, we could use other synths here instead of kicker if we wanted to. But we can also just use audio files here. So I'm going to just get rid of this kicker. So if we come back over here to this little note where it says my samples. So these are samples, and these are just audio samples. These can be waveforms or OGG or any kind of file that it can play. So let's go into, you could also have like beats that are, so we could load that in, but let's just go grab a drum. So under drums, we have some kicks and bass drums. Let's see, kick. It's a pretty heavy kick right there. So I'll just drag this up to my beat bass line. Oh, nope, that's not where I wanted it. I want it here. Can I just drag you over? Nope, let's get rid of that. Remove. All right, we could add it here, but the beat editor kind of makes it easy where we can just, add on the beat like this. I don't want that. We can also add more beats and make this more complicated. I'm just going to keep this simple for right now. So we've got a bass track. Let's add typically we'd have like a hi-hat. All right, so now we've got a hi-hat going. And let's add a snare. It's kind of a punchy snare. Add that on the first beat there. All right, we've got a groove going. Like how fun is that already? Okay, so this is our beat editor, and then we want to put that on our track here. So anywhere we put a note, it's just going to play that beat. So if I played this right here. Now we can duplicate this and change it up. So I'm just going to left click here and say clone this track. And then we can just turn these off. It's middle click to unselect that. I'm just going to turn it on here. And then we can loop a section. We just right click up here at the end. And then we can turn looping on right now, right there. And so let's go change this and basically let's just remove these extra beats here and maybe just have the bass play once. So now if we play this, it's going to change up. maybe do a double snare there. Let's see what that sounds. Now, let's do da-da, like really quick da-da. All right. I think I'm just going to do the double once at the beginning. All right, so now that's going to sound like this. And you can see how that loops. Okay, so now we can add instruments. We could bring in more samples if we wanted to for instruments. Like we've got effects and instruments. We've got piano, or E-piano, regular piano. See, that's kind of loud. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. So we could pull a sample into here and then just play notes with a sample. We can also pull in synth instruments. And you can drag and drop. Like, so I already put a sample here. Let's just go ahead and make a bad like bass line here. It's kind of loud. I hope I'm not hurting your ears. Let's just drag that out. Let's see. Okay, so we've got a beat there. Copy that, paste that. But now we could come, so where we have our presets. So presets, we could come to like take a bass. So we can just drag that right over our piano, and now it's going to play that. And we could make changes to that. And we can add effects to that. We show the GUI here. There's effects. And these effects are added via the instrument. And we would have to turn that on for the channel here. We could also add effects. I'm going to put this back on no effects. We could also add effects just here through an effects chain. And this is going to use effect plugins that are on our system. So let's say I want to do a reverb. Let's just do that. Okay. And then here's the settings for that right here. All right, so we've got a bass. Now we could also modulate that instrument over time. If we go back to our plugin, you heard it change when we were changing that frequency. We could right click, actually not right click, but right here, this is a automation track. We can add an automation track and then take like this frequency and hold down control and just drag it to this automation track. And now we could come in and either with a pencil, we could just pencil and draw in our automation. Oh, you're not drawing. But so now if you watch this frequency knob here, when I play this track, you can see that changing. And that got a little too low where we couldn't really hear it, but you can see that changing. And we can have as many of those as we want. Like if we wanted to also modulate the resonance, we can just add another modulation track and then just control and drag that over. I want to scale that out. And now we could just do the same thing here. Change that. And so now that resonance is going to change over time if we watch that. That's a little too much, so I'm going to bring it down. Okay, so like not a great beat. I hope I'm not hurting everybody's ears, but you get the idea. So you can automate over time as much as you want. You also have the ability to do chords and scales. So here I can just go to a chord and give it a range, and now it's going to play a chord. And right now that's set on octaves, but we could set it on major scale. Oh, I don't have it turned on. So that's a minor scale. So I have to turn that on for that to work. We could also do an appreciator. An appreciator is going to like scale the notes up and down. So we can tell how fast to cycle, what range, what direction. So if I do this. Now, I don't want to do that on the bass track, but like we could just use the appreciator and put in a like lead track that's basically just one note and make it scale up and down using that. Let's try that real quick. I'm going to go to let's see, let's go to like a synth sound. Or let's grab a pluck. All right, so we're just going to put something in the same key. Let's see, where were we here? We were on there. Let's just go up a little higher. And I'm just going to basically do a long note. And then let's just copy and paste this. And I went too far on that. Or not far enough. Let's do that. We need 4 and to go all the way. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Now that'll fit. Okay, so right now that's just going to be a solid note. But if we come here and tell this to be appreciated and go yes, and we want that to do octave range and do up and down. Okay, that's horrible. I'm sorry to do that to you. But I'm having fun playing, and even though I'm creating something completely horrible, just having fun playing around with that arpeggiator. Let's get rid of that arpeggiator completely. Go back to that and just turn that off. And let's actually do some notes here. I'm going to get rid of this one. Delete. And I don't really like that sound. Let's do something. They've got like a weird guitar sound here. Yeah, let's do something like that. And then probably want to add a little reverb on that. All right. Another thing I didn't show you is that you have your note velocity here also. So let's just make this so we can have the different notes play at different velocities. Okay, that's not great, but we could yeah, change up some of these velocities, and that also works really great on the drums. You know, have the drums like our hi hats. We could have had our hi hats hitting at different beats. And I just made that too big. Can I get that small? There we go. And get rid of that and copy that. Again, I need to go another bar. Let's just drag this and let's all right, copy. Man, I spent way too much time playing with that arpeggiator. I'm sorry, you guys. So let's say we like this and we're done. We can save this as a project. File, save as, and that's gonna save your song. Just call it bad beat 01, save, and then we can also export that as an MP3. So we can just export, and we've got WAV, or we can go to MP3 or OGG. It's automatically going to save it the same name as your project. Save, and then just start. And now if we close out of that and go to our audio folder, or let's see, music, where did you put that? Lmms. Thought that would put it in music, maybe documents. Yep, Lmms. And there we go, projects. And here's our project, and here's our MP3. So we can open this with like a media player, or we can just preview it right here. And I'll just leave that as my outro music. And, or no, it's not going to loop in here. I should have done that while I still had it going in LMMS. Anyway, let's see if I can just wrap this up. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you want to see more LMMS stuff or music creation stuff, personally, I use Bitwig for doing guitar and actual, music creation, but LMMS is a super fun tool to play with. It really is a lot of fun. I hope you have fun playing with it. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. I hope I didn't hurt anybody's ears too bad.